Dear friends, thank you for watching this vlog and don't forget to subscribe. This political week in Ukraine and around Ukraine was very eventful and interesting. Well, now in order. In July 13, a meeting was held in Berlin between President of Ukraine, Mr. Zelensky, and German Chancellor Angela Merkel. For Ukrainian side, this meeting was ineffective. Vladimir Zelensky hoped at this meeting to agree with Germany on guarantees of compensation for Ukraine's losses after the launch of Nord Stream 2, support our joining to the European Union and NATO. Neither one nor the other took place. Not a single document has been signed, and the Merkel limited herself to the traditional assurance that she would fight to maintain transit through Ukraine. Advisor of the head of the presidential office of Ukraine, Mr. Arestovich, called this meeting a failure and said that Merkel had surrendered Ukraine's interest to Russians. Literally 2 days later, Angela Merkel paid an official visit to the United States, where they discussed the Nord Stream 2 problem with the President Biden again. In anticipation of this meeting, Vladimir Zelensky said it could change the future of Europe. It is likely that that is true, but this is the bitter truth for Ukraine. Again, it was not possible to agree on stopping the Nord Stream or compensation for Ukraine. All these two meetings show for Ukraine the new geopolitical around which Ukraine are alone with our problem. Very interesting that one day before the meeting between Zelensky and Merkel, Russian President Putin published an article on the historical unity of Russians and Ukrainians. This article was published in the site of Kremlin in two languages, Ukrainian and Russian. This is a very interesting article. I'm sure that every politician, scientist around the world should read it, because it describes the new ideology of Russian toward Ukraine. This article consists of three main topics. The first topic, of course, this article will be used in Russian parliamentary elections, which will be held in this autumn. This article describes common history of all Slavic people and describes the main spheres of interest of modern Russia. At the other side, there is a two main signal for Ukrainians, for Ukraine state. The one signal to Ukrainian people. Putin said that Ukrainians and Russians, they are one common people with common history. We like brothers. Russia loves Ukrainian people, and so on. And the other signal to Ukrainian political elites. Putin said for them that if Ukrainian political elites, with the help of Western countries, will try to build inside of Ukraine anti-Russia, Russia will destroy the states. Will destroy the states in any case. Anti-Russia, Ukraine, like anti-Russia, will not be able to exist nowadays in modern borders. This is the main signals from Putin. We should write it down more carefully, because I am sure this article is so important, like a München speech of Putin and like many different ideology documents of modern Russia. Also, this week was very extensively Ukrainian political life, internal Ukrainian political life. Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine dismissed Interior Minister of Ukraine, Mr. Arsen Avakov. Arsen Avakov held this occupancy from 2014. He is the oldest minister in the Ukrainian government. More than 7 years he occupied this position. This person who built new day modern Ukrainian police from the starting to the end, from the militia to nowadays politia. This person and Mr. Avakov was the parallel structure of power inside the team of Zelensky, and this was the main problem. The main reasons why this happens, why he loses this occupation, was his chronicle conflict with the office of president, with the head of office president, Mr. Yermak, also conflict with the head of investigation office, Mr. Bakanov, and from for last half a year conflict with Minister of Security Security Council of Ukraine, Mr. Danilov. This chronicle conflict, this competition to the influence of the powerful bloc of Ukrainian state was the main reason of this conflict. Against, in other side, new Minister of Internal Affairs in Ukraine became. This minister is Mr. Monastyrski, head of so-called parliamentary committee, and this is not easy person also. From the one side, Mr. Monastyrski is very close to Mr. Zelensky, is absolutely loyal to Mr. Zelensky, and he was a very professional lawyer. At the other side, Mr. Monastyrski has a strong connection with the team of Mr. Avakov. He was advisor with vice head of Mr. Avakov, господин Gerashchenko. It looks like these changes in the Ukrainian internal ministry, it's like an attempt to find the balance between the old team of Mr. Avakov, who built this ministry from the starting to the end, and from one side and from the other side with abilities, with the commands which is going on from the office of president. In any case, this dismissing will be weaker nowadays government in Ukraine, because there is no such proficient, such professional, such experienced person like Mr. Avakov was. I'm sure Avakov will go to the big policy in few months, maybe in few years, when the political moment of political situation will be good for it. On the other hand, the Supreme Court of Ukraine overturned Zelensky's decree of the dismissal of the head of Constitutional Court of Ukraine, Alexander Tupitsky. Also very interesting situation, that decree of Mr. Zelensky, which dismissed Tupitsky from the Constitutional Court, is illegal for today. Of course, Office of President tried to find another decision of big quorum of Supreme Court, but it's hard way, and this situation show for us again that many decisions, many decrees of president are weak from the justice side, are weak from the lawyer side, and it should be broken in any time. Through this view, of course, that decision which was made by Constitutional Court when the Mr. Tupitsky was absent also looks not good, also looks illegal, and they also should be dismissed in an administrative way. In any case, the hard fight between the judicial lobby, Western partners, and office president of Ukraine through the judicial system of Ukraine is going on, and I'm sure that there will be serious again and again. At the same time, Parliament of Ukraine, Верховна Rada of Ukraine, supported the presidential recommendation to the bill number 3711 and left the decisive vote for the international experts of gathering the new judicial system of Ukraine. We talked a lot about it in our last video. You should check the details there. But in this way, in the way of the fighting on the judicial system, international expert will take the preeminent vote. Struggle for judicial reform also might influence for the work of Constitutional Court. In this week, the Constitutional Court, under the hand of Mr. Golovatiy, recognized the law on ensuring the functioning of Ukrainian language as a state language is constitutional. This was done under the pressure from the President, National Office, and the law, for mine opinion, is unconstitutional, and it doesn't comply the Article 10 of our Constitution. I know Mr. Golovatiy very many years, and of course this decision was made under his governance, because he is very known ex-party region member, at the same time with very clear anti-Russian moods. In any case, this decision makes unreal the situation of changing the law on the language topic in Ukraine in the nearest future, and many Ukrainian national minorities, many language group rights will be broken. Of course, it makes the serious influence on the different struggle inside Ukrainian society, and it makes bad influence also for Ukrainian Hungary communication, Ukrainian Romanian communication, and Ukrainian work abroad. I'm sure I want, of course, it would be much better if this unconstitutional law would be changed like our President Zelensky promised before 2 years ago. This situation makes the Ukrainian law and Ukrainian constitutional law, or Ukrainian constitutional court, is under the big pressure of his president and is not able to make independent decisions. Also, Parliament of Ukraine accepted in this week the law on the national resistance, which we talked about in our previous video. You should check it. About the resistance, about the volunteers in the war sphere. In this situation, Ukraine is going on to the big summer holidays. Ukrainian parliament next time will gather in only in the end of August. But political season and result of this political season we will discuss in the week. Thank you for watching this law. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Please write down the comments, questions. I'll be very glad to answer on it. Thank you.